patients and the people who cared about that issue.
And score a win of sorts for Democratic mega donor Tom Steyer. A presidential attack tweet proves Steyer's new ad was watched by the man it says should be impeached.
He's brought us to the brink of nuclear war, obstructed justice at the FBI, and in direct violation of the Constitution, he's taken money from foreign governments and threatened to shut down news organizations that report the truth.
Busy hour ahead. We begin with an unusual push from the president. The Democrats call a Nixonian abuse of power, and Trump allies call nothing more than good government transparency. It involves Russia, Hillary Clinton, and the House committee chairman who had to step aside from one investigation already because he was too cozy with the Trump White House. So we know from the get-go, sorting the facts from the politics isn't going to be easy. At issue, something very important. The president personally directing his senior White House staff to push the Justice Department to lift a gag order on an undercover FBI informant. Two sources telling CNN that informant played a critical role in an FBI investigation into a uranium deal with Russia back during the Obama administration, when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. President Trump, absent any connect-the-dots facts, calls this deal a modern-day Watergate. The House Intelligence Committee just this week announced it's going to go back and look at the deal. To do so thoroughly, it needed testimony from that informant, which is where the presidential nudge to the Justice Department comes in. It is within the president's rights, but there are White House guidelines urging a lot of caution before presidential meddling in Justice Department business. No big deal, says Team Trump.
It is not unusual for a president to weigh in. This president, as you saw from everything with the JFK files to this particular ongoing investigation, Allison, is for transparency. And he believes, as many others do, frankly, that the FBI informant should be free to say what he knows. But this was made, let me repeat, the Judiciary Chairman in the United States Senate, Chuck Grassley, made this request to the Justice Department last week.
Critics say the president's role is political meddling, not transparency.
What's so striking about the president again intervening in the Department of Justice is it's part of a pattern of politicization of the Department of Justice. He fired Jim Comey. He's interviewing U.S. attorney candidates in the Southern District of New York, where he has property and where there are investigations into money laundering by his associates. So this kind of interference in the Department of Justice is deeply troubling to me.
With us to share their reporting and their insights today, Karen Demerjian of The Washington Post, Politico, Sungmin Kim, Eliana Johnson, also with Politico, and CNN, Sarah Murray. So let me start with the question, which is it? It is unusual for a president to get involved. This testimony is critical if the House Intelligence Committee is to conduct a fair and thorough investigation of just what happened. Now, there are some people saying, why is the House Intelligence Committee going back to 2010? The Republicans have been in the majority since 2011 after the midterms in the House. Why didn't they do it sooner if it was such a big deal? Let's first start, though, the president getting involved in this, saying his goal here is simply to free up testimony to help. Fair, within the lines, outside the lines?
Well, I guess fair, except for this is not happening in a vacuum, right? Because the characters here have there was a preliminary act to all of this, which was that you had, allegations that there was coordination between Devin Nunes, the House Intelligence Chairman, who announced this probe getting resurrected this week in the House, and the White House, when we were talking about the unmasking of names. The last time there was something that the Democrats were pointing a finger and saying, you're just trying to distract from the Russia investigation. So now you have them both coming into the arena again, saying, oh, this is nothing like the time before. Oh, no, we're not talking to each other about strategizing. We've just been working on this for months and we want to set the record straight and be transparent. They are saying all the right things, but all those questions about what the real motivations are there because we witnessed this same cast act in a different but similar sort of a scenario.